Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Shanghai Major presented by Perfect World Day 2. We're here for Group B. Yesterday we had a fantastic series of games where MVP were the surprise of the tournament thus far as they topped out the group, with Secret coming in second. And I am joined for Group B to talk about if we're going to get any more surprises and what's going to happen by... Oh, I almost forgot your name there. I was going to call you Melini. That wasn't even...
Okay. It sounded like you were about to say Ben.
Yeah.
You were about to say Ben, and then...
Winter and Melini on couch number... Are you couch number 1 or couch number
one.
2? Couch number 1. How are you guys doing today?
I'm not hungry today.
Not hungry. That's good. You look after... You've become an adult. You know what I mean? It's like, did you just not eat yesterday? What was it?
I missed breakfast yesterday.
Okay.
I
but
thought there
today?
was food here.
Ah, okay. That classic mistake.
Yeah.
Food at a hotel. And on couch number 2, we have Gods and Swindlemelons joining
Hey
us
guys.
this morning.
Oh, glad to be here. Been a dream my whole life to just sit across the couch from you, James.
Always want to be a Dota
Yes.
analyst. Not forget playing. That's
Nah,
all
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry.
This is the
I am
dream.
sorry I didn't reply to your casting couch
Yeah.
application.
Yeah,
but
you sleep
Perhaps
in,
work on the title a bit.
but yeah,
sleep in, throw some bourbon in your coffee, like show up, say some stuff, draw on a whiteboard, and
yeah. Do you like the
Go home.
whiteboard?
I did actually. That was really good. I'm sure it was your idea.
Sure. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, yeah. I invented whiteboards, and I got really screwed over on that one. And then,
It was his
didn't
idea.
get a paint. Didn't get a
Yeah, it was
patent
his
on it.
idea.
We found it really entertaining.
Yeah. So yeah, happy to have everybody here this morning. It's an early morning, and we've got a lot of Dota to get through. We've got 4 teams today, so we can take a look at our groups and see who's playing. And I think a lot of people will be quite happy to see the lineup we've got today. We've got some fan favorites in there with Alliance. We'll be playing today. We've got Fnatic, just for Winter.
Thank you.
That's just for you. Vici Gaming and also Team Spirit are all going to be playing today in Group B.
Exciting stuff.
It is exciting. It gets even more exciting when the overlay of Group B comes up on screen. That's when it becomes real. Like, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it about these teams are playing. Trust me, there's an overlay.
Until that
We
point,
saw
the
it
groups
in
can be anything.
rehearsal. It's gonna come.
Yeah. Just give it time.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna drink my coffee.
Yeah.
Ben, how's life?
So you invented whiteboards. We should just call it like writing on the too good or something.
Yeah.
Professor.
Sir,
I've gone for a math teacher today, apparently. That's what Andy's called my new outfit.
what were you teaching yesterday?
Definitely not spelling.
Not English
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah. But to kind of talk a little bit about yesterday from a different perspective, Swindle, you're a player for Complexity. You're here in the tournament.
Yep.
You're playing on day 4.
Sunday. 2 more. Yeah. Not tomorrow. The day after that.
Yep.
I'm really thrilled.
And so what did you make of yesterday's kind of, if you want to focus on teams, that's sure, but just overall, you know,
I mean, do you want honesty or brutal honesty?
we're going to go for brutal honesty.
The Group A is like a really bad group. And that was awful Dota. The drafting made no sense, and you will not see anything like that for the rest of the event, I don't believe. I saw like Lions being 3rd picked and just...
Nice.
You're
good.
so confident. Hey, now you can believe it.
Oh,
let's just
there we go.
let's quickly go into Group B, and yeah, we got Alliance, Team Spirit, Vici Gaming, and Fnatic will be playing today. The first matchup is well, the first 2 matches, because we're going to have 2 games played simultaneously, is going to be Alliance versus Team Spirit, which will be on the 2nd stream or in Dota TV if you're so inclined. And on this stream, we're going to be watching Vici Gaming versus Fnatic. To kick us off. So we're going to see how this one pans out. I personally don't have a clue or any favorites. Maybe we can go to the whiteboard at some point. I know we're going to talk about the players, and I'm not sure how far they are into getting into the game. But there's pretty big, brutal honesty there, to go back to you, Swindlemelons.
Oh, I've got
The-
like a specific example if you want. I can bring it up.
It would
Examples are
probably be
good.
wasted on me.
Okay.
So, but let's put it this way. If it's wasted on me, I need you to convince Winter
Okay.
that you're not full of shit. Okay?
All right. There's a long time between MDL and the major. Yeah, like a few weeks. eHome, I believe, was in the MVP series. I could be wrong. They first 2'd Night Stalker, which was something that you saw in the MDL series between eHome and EG, where it was, I believe, banned in one game and first two in another game. And then 3 weeks go by, tons of meta changes, and then they're on the same thing, and they're not banning any of MVP's heroes. Like, MVP's been doing the same stuff. Like we were just talking about in the pre-show, they ran the exact same drafts in the BTS Americas tournament. If you go on Google DotaBuff.com, pick MVP Phoenix, you'll see exactly what they're doing.
No, I mean, to be honest, that's the problem, isn't it? eHome couldn't access Google.
Okay, sorry. Go on Yahoo.
In China.
Okay? Type in DotaBuff.com.
Yeah, Yahoo Answers.
Like, you could have asked Jeeves for what MVP Phoenix was going to pick, and you would have found it. Like,
It
was
eHome's
so-
problem.
yeah.
Censorship has kept him out of the drafting
How
phase.
about the other series, Secret versus CDC?
oh, jeez, that was, well, wasn't this? It wasn't like 2-1 at like 20 minutes or something like that in one of those games.
One of the games, yeah.
It's just not like Alliance has been showing. Alliance showed up at Star Ladder, and they just crushed people. Okay, and we're all pretty sure they're going to do the same thing here. They would have wiped the floor with both of those teams, and I just feel like they don't grasp like what the game's about right now. Or again, I have to convince Winder about
Yeah,
this. He's
okay,
staring at
Winter,
me intently.
Winter.
So
Your,
remember, I'm rooting
thought.
for Fnatic.
I said something like this to Owen when I saw their draft. I thought it was going to be really hard for them to win.
Mm.
But at the same time, you know, when I look at the overall big picture, every team has their favorable picks. They like to do this and they like to do that. But certain heroes are always going to be in every team's hero pool.
Mm.
Like you mentioned, the Furion. I think Furion is one of the strongest heroes now as well. I agree with you. And some teams, they're not actually prioritizing the hero, which is quite strange.
Mm.
And the Lion pick, like you mentioned, he's kind of a weak support in the lane. So
I might be wrong, but didn't they? I think they might have first two'd Lion Void in one game.
no, Lion was third pick. I remember it was
Third
third
pick,
pick.
yeah.
It was
What
third
was
pick.
it? It was Void and something else that was just. I think
Lion
it
was normally
might have
picked
been.
against. Lion was normally picked against Void.
It
was
might have been
what was
Void
happening.
Night Stalker. Might have been the first two.
Hmm.
I'm not
Oh.
sure. I didn't watch enough of it, but the point is, wasn't good. The groups are going to get progressively harder.
Culminating in your group.
Culminating in our group, which is
Okay,
the hardest
this
group.
is,
Sorry, gotta
yeah.
say it.
This is brilliant. So yeah, definitely wraps up your thoughts of yesterday. So you're looking for better Dota on
Oh.
a day-to-day basis. So let's focus
With-
on what's happening
With
today.
that
Go on.
said, MVP Phoenix was awesome. I loved watching them play. That was good. I love those guys.
You're like
They're
one of those
so-
guys. It's like
yeah.
blah blah blah. But you're so nice.
Yeah. Dude, you can tell how friendly a team is by whether or not they smile at you when you randomly run into them in the elevator, right? MVP is always happy to see you.
I mean, Kyo is actually just crazy. He
Yeah.
will just smile at anything.
Yeah.
like,
He's a great guy. I love
he
it.
like doesn't know what's
anything.
yes, anything. Have you met the guy?
Of course I met the guy.
he's
All right.
hilarious.
Good
Well, yeah, certainly smiling as MVP. Did top the group yesterday, but let's focus on what's happening today. Our first two games, we're going to have Alliance versus Team Spirit on the other stream. This is starting at 9 o'clock, so we're going to go back in time by 26 minutes and get that game started. And also on the main stream, we're going to be having Fnatic versus Vici Gaming. The players hopefully might be in the lobby sometime soon, but let's focus on today. And I'm going to bring over the whiteboard, and there you can see the first team up, which is Vici Gaming, Super, Ice Ice Ice, FY, Fenrir, and Burning. What do you make of the lineup there, gentlemen?
It's been like the same group of like 4 guys for a while. They've changed out their carry player a few times with Hao coming in and Black if you go way back to DAC. But it's been a very stable roster. They adapt well. They've got a pretty versatile hero pool. They're willing to, I'd say, experiment a bit with their drafts, but they're very consistent. Every LAN event they go to, they're finishing top 3, top 4. So this is a team who I expect to shop and do well here at the major.
Yeah. I mean, anyone else want to? I'll just do it. I agree. I think Super is one of the most criminally underrated mid players in the world, and they're just really solid. Oh, you want to? Oh, James really wants to whiteboard. We can cut to James on the whiteboard. Take it away, man.
Hello, welcome. No, I just thought like we should probably talk about, if we have time, Vici Gaming and Fnatic,
Yep.
and then maybe we can visit Team Spirit and Alliance a little bit later,
Mm-hmm.
since they're playing against each other. And Swindle, Insight, kind of, you've played and probably scrimmed against these guys at some point recently, much more than any of us. So have you got any kind of starting pros or cons for Vici Gaming and Fnatic that we should know about?
Super's criminally underrated.
Super is a criminal.
He's
and
taking their mouses and
Yeah.
keyboards.
But is he, like, for you, a standout player that every game...
He's a lot of times when you say someone's consistent, you're just saying that they're mediocre, but Super is consistently just really good. He's like always a top 5 mid player regardless of the patch. And obviously everyone knows the support duo is really good.
I mean, is he good? Is he like super good mid or just super good mid compared to you when you played mid?
Oh.
Because that's
I would
that
say
might be a con.
I would say that Super is slightly better than I am.
Slightly better
as a
than you
player,
are.
Yeah.
Definitely a
And
con.
I was a really, really good mid player. Like I don't want to undersell myself here, but
Okay,
that's a big compliment.
sorry. I'm glad. Super mid.
Can you just write super duper?
Super. Yeah.
Thank
that's
you.
good. Super duper.
Because that's what he's not just super.
He's
he
not
really
just
is.
super.
Correct.
He's
Yeah.
super duper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of points in Scrabble.
Yeah.
Way more than super.
I think I'd challenge
It's more
that
than
one.
7 letters. Or
You can
not.
add on.
You can have more
You-
than 7
yeah.
letters.
You
You,
do
add the
super and
duper
I
to
mean,
the super.
someone would go with super, and then you'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what's better than super? Super
Add
duper.
the two.
It'd be like, give me that dictionary. All right, so pros for Vici Gaming, super duper, mid. Anything else you're kind of thinking? We got Fnatic here as well. Just throw them out, guys.
That's Winter.
Oh.
Winter, you're on
Winter,
Fnatic.
you are,
Oh.
you know about Fnatic.
I think
Oh. Ohio.
laning phase, they are really good at the first 10 minutes of the game.
Mm.
Is that considered a pro? Or a weakness? Because they're only good at first 10 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is, if
Yeah.
you, well, that's still a pro.
Okay,
Really?
they're one
First-
of, the,
Fnatic-
one of the best teams in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Okay,
They don't have many
Um,
pros, so you should write that in big letters.
so huh?
I said they don't have many pros, so you probably use bigger letters.
No, but I mean, like, what are we calling like the 10-minute men?
Sure.
That sound good?
Okay.
Like they're 10-minute men.
No. I would just add that I think DJ is the key to their team.
I think he's the best player in
Yeah.
Southeast Asia now.
I think
DJ.
yeah, I think he's the
What
most.
does he play?
He's the
So
4.
He used to play
Support.
off lane on this team, but he's
Yeah.
support right now.
Anytime I think, and just to bring up, I don't know if you guys read too much into just average hero damage per match, player damage, but DJ is like near 20%, which for a support player is
For
pretty
his
high.
team all
Yeah.
the time. That's
And he
pretty good.
always-
That's pretty good.
He plays the roaming hero, so it's
Mm.
not really like the high damage dealing ones. It's just he's like their bounty player, and I feel like if he's able to land a couple key ganks early on, if he gets off to a good start, he can just he's their momentum. You know, he gets the ball rolling, and then the course take over.
Yeah,
But
J-Row.
That's really
We-
good observation.
DJ Rome.
That was really
Yeah.
good observations from Swindle because he is
Oh,
in fact, I think, the key of the team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
what? From
And if Winter
from what
agrees
I've
with me,
been
that
seeing a
means
lot.
So we got DJ Rome,
With the 10-minute men.
10-minute men, but they're not more than 10-minute men.
I think.
So does that come in the cons as well?
I think the cons is
Stamina.
if you look at their history, Mushi's team, it's always like when they lose the early game, they struggle a lot. Like some teams, they can still lose the early game, but they find a way after.
Mm.
But for Mushi's team, when they lose the early game, they always tend to struggle. They can't find any other way back into the game.
Okay.
So that's
How do you want to sum
their,
that up?
that's their pro, but 10-minute man, but it's also their con at the same
Yeah.
time.
Can't recover.
Can't recover.
If they lose their lanes.
I think we can put 10-minute men over there as well, but yeah. Recovery.
I think they have another pro as well. I just remember that
Sorry?
during, was it TI3 that they had the widest hero pool? They picked, Mushi alone played 18 heroes,
Mm. That's
Yeah.
TI3 though, to be fair.
right, but he still plays a lot of heroes.
Isn't this TI3 patch?
Some
According
people,
to
say, some people
Alliance
say it's a
fans.
con though because they pick too many things. They don't work on the same
Mm.
strategy.
I'd agree.
I think
I agree.
their drafting is sometimes a weakness.
Mm.
Look
Yeah,
at their cons.
I
I think
agree.
if you go
I
back like to qualifiers when they in their region, they pick
Mm.
things which they maybe get misled to think work really well. Like the
Yeah.
carry Mirana is one of the things which I've seen Mushi go to a few
Yeah.
times. Sometimes they just insta pick
I-
IO Tiny because they have no other ideas. I think their drafting can be
I,
pretty lackluster.
I'd specify that it's actually more of a problem with preparation. I feel like when they know a team, they go in, they have a good plan, and they do well. As you know, they've been incredibly good in the SEA region, which, as we saw demonstrated yesterday, is really not weak anymore. But they come to international lands, and I feel like they're not prepared for what other teams are going to do, and they end up they'll not ban the heroes that you value, and that's something that we've even seen in just a couple scrims, like way back when, where we were just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you banning these heroes? We've never played them
I think
ever.
the reason, because I know him, the reason he does that sometimes is because he thinks that they are ready for the hero, so he does that on purpose to give it
Mm.
away. So he wants to use his own plan, but it didn't work sometimes.
Mushi's
Is that like overconfidence? or
Overconfidence, probably.
He's isn't. I'm fairly certain Mushi's the only captain in history to not use his first 2 bans. I'm pretty sure he did that at LA.
That was
Was
Ice.
That was Ice?
That was Zenith
Okay.
when they
Yeah.
skipped 5 bans.
Yeah.
Zenith did that with.
did they win or lose?
He was
at
on-
TI2
wasn't he on-
or something?
No, also didn't the Team DK do that one tournament when it was with Mushi and Ice on the same
Yeah.
team?
Yeah. Well, that's
DK did it and also Zenith did it. I
Right.
want to say
I mean,
it was an Ice
It's
thing,
probably
not a Mushi
Daryl's
thing.
idea.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely
a standout con then for Fnatic sounds like it's the drafting
or-
phase.
Yeah, drafting. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
potentially. I mean, he mentioned more in the preparation
Yeah.
rather than.
Ill prepared.
I mean, it'll be
Mm.
crucial that
It's I mean, every team I feel is going to come to a major just incredibly well prepared for any opponent, but
yeah, but sometimes your preparation might not be like
not the right preparation.
not the right
yeah.
preparation. Yeah, might be not suitable for the tournament, like the way you prepare for the teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember going all the
So
way back.
I think that drafting can be a big weakness. of
or questionable preparation or meta or
Uh,
I don't know. We're
I-
just
yeah.
gonna go with draft
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just drafting.
Yeah, 'cause
because hopefully the game
Yeah.
should be starting sometime soon. We've only got Super Duper for Vici Gaming and currently no cons. I mean, they've got 4 other members
Oh,
of the team. Not
I've
to
got a
take
con.
anything away. You got a con.
too many cool guys. They don't really have a person that can be sacrificed. If
They don't.
Fenrir.
Okay.
Fenrir
no,
does
no,
that.
no good sacrifices.
But Fenrir does the sacrifice.
But Fenrir is like really good. And he shouldn't be, and he doesn't want to be. If you've seen him play Visage, it's like really good.
So
He-
just to kind of sum up what you're trying to say to people who might be like, what?
Mm.
Basically, there's someone in your team, bit of a donkey. You're able to kind of
No,
throw
no,
them
no.
under the bus every once
Yeah,
in a
it's
while
just-
because
exactly.
it works out for the rest of the
Mhm.
members in a stronger way.
Sometimes your motor's
That's
not
this
going
guy.
right, and you just need to make like a little blood sacrifice
Yeah.
to just get your team
But they're all
back
just
underway.
too cool and important.
Yeah, like I think going back all the way to like my initial team house back before TI5, I remember Fly just talking about how FY is such a cool guy. Just pick Rubik, take the safe lane for 4 minutes, get his arcanes, and just run around and do stuff and
So
be awesome.
Is that greedy, or is that do they play individually for themselves, and
No,
or
it's-
is it just they're all? I mean, I don't fully understand how you want to put this.
They just don't have
A sacrificial lamb.
if the game isn't going well, they don't really. I guess it's not really recovery though either. I feel like if you look at Vici, you're gonna need FY, Burning, Super, and Ice to all have good games, and you want Fenrir to have a good game too. If you look at EG, they don't really care about PPD's game. If you look at Secret, even though that might be a bad example now, it's the same sort of thing. But traditionally, the teams that are doing very well, top 3, I feel like they always have a person.
like they're
that's-
stacking somebody and sacrificing somebody to push an advantage on one player depending on how the game
Yeah.
goes.
I always.
Like
Uh,
OG at the last major, like those games where like Moon had a bad showing or maybe
Oh.
Notel had a bad game, but
Yeah,
then still
and then-
But do they
everything
need
comes together.
everybody to have a good game to win?
I think so, honestly.
To beat Alliance for sure.
I
To
mean,
beat Alliance, that's like the only way they.
yeah, I
they
mean,
stand
I've
a
got
chance.
Fnatic winning this series, so I mean, I think they're gonna need help. So I would say,
Okay.
yeah, they do have to all perform well.
So running on cons, yeah.
Con for me is they almost always get like 3rd place is kind of where I see them in most of the tournaments. And even back to when they kicked Black, I think they got like 2nd at DAC, and they thought that wasn't good enough for them. So clearly they want to be in that 1st place, and they're not satisfied with 3rd, but they keep like trying to fix a problem that isn't there. I don't really know if that translates well to a con, but they never seem to have what it takes to get into that 1st and 2nd, the gold and silver.
Okay. What should we call it? Do you want to running at full steam or all the players? It's
I don't know, man. You're the guy who's supposed to come up with the witticisms. I'm pretty sure that's actually your only job on the panel is to be witty. So, what you got, James?
not much right now. I can barely spell. So
should have stayed retired.
so they need all players to work well together.
They need to find the right balance for the whole team.
I think balance is good.
That's a good word.
I think that makes us sound like we're professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Balance. We put like brackets, player underneath, and then what was the other one you mentioned?
They never get first or second, or haven't in a pretty long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Third place curse. I don't even know. if
Yeah.
that's
They
cursed,
went.
but
They went from
Cursed. That's
Def-
great storylines.
cursed.
This team is cursed.
They really did go from de facto best Chinese team to
Yeah.
just
Third.
yeah.
Yeah, but the way they play they're not like a Chinese team, you know. They are
Yeah.
very diverse. You know, when you look at a
Mhm.
Chinese team, you see something like LGD. They keep doing
Mhm.
the same thing. They're very disciplined. VG is not a team that's like that.
I think that's probably one of their biggest pros is that they are their diversity as a
Yeah.
team. Like in their not just in their
Yeah.
hero picks, but in their play styles, they'll completely mix up. Like FY and Fenrir, like as a support duo, kind of define the team a bit, but they do so by one game they'll do like dual roam, another game they'll have FY playing super greedy, farming the jungle with a Night Stalker. Like you never know what FY and Fenrir are going to do. They can swap their playstyle from game
They
to
were
game.
one of the first teams to play Wisp outside of
Yeah.
the Western scene. Like they.
Yeah, but
just do
which
so
one
many
do you
things.
think is more suitable for them right now? Because they are not in good shape.
But like
I don't feel like we can. I think they did okay at MDL. Like as far as their play
Yeah.
wasn't.
But don't you think they underperformed?
Slightly? Like
Uh,
that was probably one of their worst
as-
results.
One of the. That was not a land to judge anything by. I mean, once we get into the next series, I can discuss it more. But
Right.
that was just not a land that should be taken.
Okay.
There's a very big asterisk on it, in my opinion.
Okay, so we got super duper diversity, the balance of all
Yep.
the players kind of working together or sacrificing one another, and they're cursed in terms of they seem to be amazing on paper, but they never get the ultimate win. And then for Fnatic, 10-minute men, DJ roam is huge. They lack recovery after if the 10-minute doesn't go well, and also their drafting phase is a bit iffy since we seem to have time because there's no game starting yet. And when the game does start, we'll get the draft up on screen and we'll go in there. We can also do Alliance and Team Spirit just to show people the other teams that are playing today. So any kind of thoughts on these guys? Is one of the pros for Alliance surely the patch?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, sorry, it's just like
Yeah.
I was told you can host this because it's like TI3. There's a
Mm.
there's a bear and a tree man.
Mhm.
So we can
Oh.
put patch down for
Oh,
Alliance.
definitely.
Patch.
I think if there was a patch, yeah, this might even be better than TI3 for Alliance, just because they have such a wealth of experience. They've all like Aki and Loda have been playing this game since
Yeah.
they were teenagers, so they're really versatile. I think Loda can probably play pretty much any hero in the game, and Bulldog only plays 2, so it's perfect. And they just pick Bulldog as heroes. S4 can finally play heroes that rotate around the map and win games.
I mean, he plays more than 2 heroes. It's just the 2 heroes works the best
Okay,
for the
sorry,
team.
I'll rephrase. He only can play 2 heroes well. Sorry, and by well, okay. See, that makes it sound like I'm
Plays
just
two
flaming
heroes-
him.
he plays
He
two
plays
heroes
2
at
heroes
God tier.
exactly at a world class. Holy
We're not-
shit!
yeah, but I say,
Bulldog's really good.
When you say world class, we mean like god tier. Like no one
Yeah,
comes
like-
close
exactly.
to like his.
I
Nature's
watched
Prophet
I
Lone
watched his
Druid.
Lone Druid guide
Yeah.
and said to Chessie, I'm not playing this hero. You take it, man, because I was just not about that.
And then his other heroes, he plays at a world class level. I would say, like close to, like
I mean,
some of them.
his brood is still pretty good.
His Brood, like his Weaver, like he has other heroes he plays pretty damn well.
Yeah. Well, either way, patch definitely.
He's not convinced.
Swindle doesn't seem convinced apparently.
No.
Anything else?
So watch out.
I think
God Black for Spirit.
Who?
God Black. Like they're
Team Spirit, God
yeah,
Black.
They're
He's very
teams-
tall as well,
yeah.
which might intimidate.
Scare.
Is it a CK or just K?
Just K.
Just K.
Every team that plays
He's
under
tall,
under him has like a
which is
Identity.
everybody.
Yeah.
they always have an identity when you play under him.
Yeah.
Like you can tell they're a team.
Abaddon, Treant Protector,
Yeah.
he Bane.
Viper,
Mm.
God Black,
tall.
tall,
I think
which
no-
Is not
intimidating.
shown there.
Hmm.
He's smiling. He doesn't look too intimidating. Always want to fly
well,
on the other hand.
if this was actually done to scale, I'm pretty sure he'd have like another
His head
12
would be
inches on the
actually-
rest of his team.
Yeah.
He's very, very tall.
By the way, what do you guys think of Iceberg? I think he's a really good like
Oh,
up and rising.
Spirit's one of my favorite teams at this event. Another team that will always smile at you when the elevator just randomly opens. And
So the nice guys, what do you think about their Dota?
I think it's pretty good. I don't want to get into cons, but the big cons is they're young, obviously. I think that's their
Inexperienced.
biggest disadvantage. And to go back to MDL, Aloha Dance was so sick he couldn't take part in the opening ceremony. Like he was just stuck in his room. The food quality was very poor. Everyone had traveled. It was a huge flights, then 4-hour bus rides, and then it was a long trip to the venue. It was snowing. Everyone's sick,
Yeah.
and they just did not play well. they truthfully didn't really care about the event as much because of that circumstance.
But
And
they
I
also
think they
didn't
can
play
play much
well
better.
at Star Ladder though. Like
And again, I feel like that LAN as well was just
Was
like
was
people
that
don't know
their
this.
first
There
LAN?
were no practice rooms. So all of the teams that traveled, the first time they were playing Dota after 3 or 4 days was their first match. Maybe time for an overthrow. We personally had about 25 minutes to warm
and
up.
literally for Alliance, they walk in the door with their suitcases and are playing Dota.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
yeah.
And I think that their big advantage, Alliance knew exactly what they were going to do coming into that event, and they demonstrated that. Spirit really didn't, and they didn't have enough time to work on it, and it's BO1. So I think that team could do well, but again, this is the major. I feel like every team has the potential to at least advance from group stage, and I think Spirit has a chance to.
Well, every team advances from group stage.
But you know what I mean, James. But thank you for the correction. Bang up job.
So Goblax Thought, they're young guns. Anything for Alliance? I think Kelly Milkies is here, right?
Mm,
She speaks Mandarin,
mm,
and I think that's a big plus for a team.
definitely.
It's kind of like, you know, because
I
they'd be
don't think
relaxed,
she's
she can
here.
handle.
I
She's
don't
not here.
No,
Oh no, yeah, actually,
I don't think she's here.
I think Eric told me she gets in on Monday. So until then, they're in our boat. Like our manager doesn't speak
Mm.
any Mandarin, and we're actually probably thinking about replacing him. Sorry, Beef, but
Exactly, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, Mo English, no
it's
problem.
2016. If you're a Dota manager and you don't speak Mandarin, I mean, what are you doing?
No Kelly Milkies and cons.
There you go.
Not here yet.
Sure, I like
They're
it.
on their own.
Mhm. Although another cool thing about the major is that every team got its own like assistant person
Mhm.
that was fluent in both languages. So again, very different from MDL. MDL was kind of like you're on your own. Managers actually ended up editing a lot of the rule book and actually running the tournament. There was just a coalition of them that just pretty much came together and said, this tournament sucks. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. And the major is not like that. It's much more professional. We've got you handsome gentlemen around and, you know, a backdrop. It's great.
We're casting MDL as well.
Okay. So anything else for Alliance apart from just the patch? I mean, how's Loader doing? Is he still out there, meaning behind enemy lines, on his carry hero?
He did really
Or
well.
is he playing really
He did really
awesome?
well in Star Ladder, like,
Yeah.
'Cause-
honestly.
Well,
He
as what
did.
Swin was mentioned, he's
Yeah.
very versatile with his hero pool. So
Yeah.
they normally pick his hero very late in the draft.
Mhm.
They're not too worried about what they're going to get him. They'll just get something that fits the rest of the heroes they picked up.
That's actually a big advantage because obviously Alliance, they're more of like that early game focused team. They want to control tempo, and when you last pick your one, that's the hero with the most impact on how far you can scale into the game. So there are games, you know, he's playing a Slardar. There's games he's playing Jug. I think there was one I can't remember. I might have even played a Spectre in one game. And
Yeah, they did a lot with the
Mhm.
Spectre plus was it the
He plays Naga. He
the
plays
Bat Rider or something? The
Terrorblade,
Spectre with the
like,
Bat
yeah.
Rider where you get the pick, just spamming the horn,
And
looking for
he
kills.
played one Brave King game as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
He plays so many heroes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the reason they're really so strong is their versatility.
I don't really think you can put him as a
Specifically
pro just because I think all the other players shine too. Like Ake with his
Yeah.
famous Chen S4.
Like
dominating
everyone
mid.
has a hero that you
Yeah.
don't really want to
Yeah.
play against.
Twitch Strat would be very disappointed in us if we